Welcome back to SwissWatchExpo and Taking Time with my name is Richard and
Jonathan.
And we're going to tell you all about what we've got set up here. It's summer and we're going to discuss some really cool watches.
So we've got a wide variety of summer-like watches here that both Richard and myself picked from our huge selection of 2,500 plus watches. So
yeah,
it's like being in a candy store for a little kid. So.
Literally, especially when you look at this area over here.
Yeah,
it's like tropical Skittles.
Yeah, right. So we've got women's and men's. And Richard, why don't you start with the women's?
I'll certainly do that. And you know, I want to give credit to Penny. Penny is one of our heroes behind the scenes here. She's actually behind the camera I'm staring at the moment. One of these days we're going to get her out here. But she's actually the one that gave us the sort of the inspiration for this particular segment. So thank you, Penny. Appreciate you.
Drop a penny in the comments below. And once we get 5 pennies, we're going to turn her into a nickel and bring her on the show.
She doesn't know yet, but we're going to volunteer tell her. But anyway, so yeah, we'll start with the ladies' pieces here. And obviously we'll kind of start with the showcase that's a little bit brightest of all. So here we have the Tudor Grantour. So this is a ladies' piece. I really like this thing, and you know, me and Jonathan were talking a little bit about it. I think one of the coolest things about this watch is that it's bold enough to be a 41 millimeter and still call itself a ladies' piece. I don't think any other brand's done that. And honestly, the color schemes are just so amazing.
Yeah, it's very summery.
Yeah, it's very summery. Super vibrant. I mean, if you know, if you're not looking for something to necessarily match, you want something to stand out and just say, hey, it's spring or summer. I think these are perfectly suited. Yeah. And you know, any one of these straps can go on any one of them. You can, you know, if you got the one with the orange dial, then you could always put a white strap on it as well. So these are completely versatile, and I really think that's cool.
And I definitely don't really, honestly, expect any other mom or lady, woman, whatever you call yourself, literally to have this at the lake or the pool or
you'd be the only one. You'd be the only one. And as you can see, we got a vast array of them. So come check this out.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to point to the Roadster next. I mean, this one is pretty unique in that, you know, this is going to go with absolutely everything because we can, you know, change the straps out. It's a Cartier. It's classic design. I mean, what do you think?
I think it's really neat. I like the way that they've got the diamond set in this because, you know, a lot of times they're very feminine the way they do diamond sets. They're in a very thin sheet of metal. In this case, what you see is a very substantial chunk of metal with all these diamonds in it, and it's a very bold styling of diamond setting for a ladies' piece. The coolest thing about this one is actually kind of the same thing with this. If you would give them a tour here, the strap on this actually comes off so easily. It's sort of a
quick change.
It's quick select. So you can actually, if you've got a couple of these, this is the only watch you need on a trip. So anytime you want to go to the beach, it's a business affair. You can actually change out these straps extremely easy. Let me show you real quick. So let's pop open the clasp, and it literally has this quick disconnect. You thumb it out, and it comes right off. Yeah. So if you can take this one watch in 6 different straps and have a good watch for every occasion you can possibly imagine. So I just think this is the perfect summer watch.
Not just that, but like the perfect vacation watch.
But yeah, exactly. Agree. Completely. Especially if you don't want to take all your expensive watches on the trip with you. I think that's a really beautiful.
Because we know the ladies do collect too. So
right. And then we have, you know, you kind of always have to come back to the ladies' Datejust two-tone diamond dial champagne motif. This is just about the most classic you can possibly ask for.
Not just that, but it's like the end-all, be-all kind of thing.
It is. It is.
It's waterproof to 100 meters. You're not going to have to worry about it. You can take it to the beach, the lake, bang it around. It's going to be shockproof. I mean, you got the kids. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be able to damage this thing. Bar that you don't chuck it in the water.
Right.
But I mean, yeah.
I think the beauty of this thing is it's just like you were saying. Like this, you can take this to a black tie fair. You can take this into the water. I mean, I can just sort of picture a lady just outside sipping on a mojito in the morning with the fire on the side of a lake. I can just sort of like imagine the campfire glistening off the Jubilee bracelet and the fluted bezel and just making this thing really pop. Yeah. And being something that's subtle but at the same time magnificently brilliant. Yeah. And so I think it's just you can't go wrong with the Datejust. You can never go wrong with it. And this is a 36 millimeter, but we just did that for ease of access with the cameras. But you guys can get this in 26 millimeter too for ladies if you like.
Yeah,
the smaller
31,
31, 38.
34.
Yeah, there's a wide variety of sizes. So this is always a phenomenal go-to. So that's for the ladies' Datejust. And how do you want to get started with the gents pieces?
Well, let's start with the classic. So the original Seamaster Professional blue dial or blue wave dial with the rose engraved dial, the old school, aluminum bezel, the James Bond watch. I mean, this thing is 41 millimeters. It's thin. It's like 11 or 12, not even 12 millimeters. It's thin. It's got the original bracelet on it that, some love, some hate, but, you can't deny, the classic look of literally this watch. I mean, James Bond wore it, so you're going to be able to wear this to the beach, whether you're blowing stuff up for 4th of July, even though it's past 4th of July, but still, you're going to be able to blow stuff up while still going out to dinner with your girlfriend, your wife, significant other, your kids.
And I think this is a perfect tool watch. So this is a good watch for working in the yard. If you're just out barbecuing, this is something you can kind of take anywhere. The thing I love so much about this watch is I like watching this I like seeing this watch with wear on it.
Yeah.
And we're typically selling you mint and condition watches, but when you buy this thing, I want you to wear it. I like seeing these things beaten within an inch of their life, so to speak, because they can take it. It's basically a bulletproof case. It's a phenomenal go-to piece. It's a very tool-oriented watch. You can be a carpenter, you can have this watch. You can be in a business meeting and have this watch. You can be a scuba diver and have this watch. And there's just so much versatility to that thing. It's just an unbelievably cool, masculine, easy go-to piece.
Oh, yeah. Next, we have the most underrated Panerai, I think, out there. The Panerai logo. It's the base watch. I think that this watch is like the go-to guy that likes to go on vacations and likes to go do stuff. Right. So you're going to the beach, you're going to be on a jet ski. You're not going to the beach to like just relax. I mean, you can do that in this watch, but like this watch is like the one watch that you can take on vacation and do everything in.
Yeah. And
it's like 3 days power reserve.
Yeah.
Manual wind, obviously. So you will have to manually wind it yourself.
I kind of like that, though. I kind of like that.
It helps you connect with the watch more.
It does.
But I mean, it's essentially just set it and forget it. And, there's no fancy, GMT time. There's no seconds hand. It's literally hours and minutes.
Yeah.
Simple, and basic, that's all you really need.
Super readable.
It's all you need on vacation is to worry about the hours and the minutes. You don't need to know things down to the second. So you should be paying attention to the moment.
Be at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that. And just like, very similar to the Cartier and the Tudor here, one of the coolest things about the Panerai is that these straps are extremely interchangeable. Most of these, in most cases, you get the tool set along with the watches.
Yeah, you get a Panerai tool.
Yeah, and you can actually change out these straps and change interchangeably. There's a lot. Again, one watch for many, many purposes. It's a very bold piece. It's very, it's a very bold piece. I don't know how else to say it. It's one of those things. It's
rugged.
Yeah, it's very rugged. Like you said, it's got simplicity to it, and sometimes simplicity is key. And like you said, when you're on vacation, maybe you don't want to care about the date as much. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to separate from what day it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's a good fit.
Yeah.
And so if you don't mind, I'm going to take the liberty of talking about the Cartier Calibre.
Yes, because I know very little about this watch.
I can't tell you guys how much I love this. I did a Instagram video on this not too long ago. So if you guys see it on there, that's my voice. I can't tell you how much I love this watch. Everything about it's just super, super cool. It's a wonderful diameter size. If you kind of look at it on the wrist, it's a beautiful diameter size.
41 millimeters?
Yeah, and they waste 41 millimeters, and they don't waste any space on any extraneous things. You get a perfect readability. I love the way the crystal has a slight dome shape, and I love the bezel. There's just so much working with this watch. And I actually, this is kind of silly, but I started thinking about this last night. I love the fact that the date window actually has 3 different dates in it. It's almost sort of like it wants you to know about the past, present, and the future. And I think, as a human being, it's a constant analysis of myself and where I'm going. And, you got to know where you came from to know where you're going, but you got to be present at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's kind of cheesy.
Is that a ceramic bezel on it?
It is. It is a ceramic bezel on it. So it's not only in Rolex. You can find ceramic bezels in other brands. Isn't that neat?
That's crazy.
And the cool thing is it's a 300-meter watch.
Really?
It comes on a rubber strap. Yeah, with a screw-down crown. And
that is so unlike Cartier.
It is very much so. It's, you know, a lot of people consider this to be a very trendy, dressy brand, and I really, this watch defies everything Cartier to me, and it just kind of it tells this. It sets up a situation for a guy like me who's very utilitarian, who really wants a nice timepiece. This really sets up a good situation for me. I like the larger style. I just like everything about it. It's a gorgeous watch. And again, you can take it daggum near anywhere. You know, it's very utilitarian in that sense.
It looks really good in two-tone, actually, too.
I do like the two-tone. And, you know, Jonathan changed me out here. I actually had the blue. I had the blue bezel. We're fighting about it.
We don't want too many blue watches, all right?
He didn't want too many blue watches, but I'm okay with that. But I prefer the two-tone with the blue bezel. But this is still a gorgeous, phenomenal piece. So, you know, Jonathan, if you had to pick out of all of them, what would be your favorite?
I'm going to stick with the true roots of, you know, being a Omega guy.
I bet you I couldn't have guessed that. I could not have guessed that you'd stay truest there. Tell me why.
Well, I mean, for one, I used to have an Omega, and then for two, there's just something about this piece that it's just classic. And you know, I've worn it a few times, and it fits really good on me. And it's just one of those things that it's like, once you put it on, you're gonna miss it.
Right.
And that's another thing that harkens back to like summertime. You always miss summertime.
Right.
You always miss like the vacations.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know.
It's sort of like it's like a touch back to old past times.
Yeah.
You know, you can build a lot of memories in this because you can literally take it anywhere. Go mountain hiking. I mean, you can go day packing.
Yeah.
Climb a volcano. It's just one of those beautiful things for that. So I kind of agree. You know, that would be my second favorite piece.
Well, what's yours?
Well, if you haven't figured out yet.
The Tudor?
No, yeah. I think that's a phenomenal look. What do you think? Is it turquoise or pink? Which one?
I think turquoise.
Okay, I'll go.
Brings out your eyes.
I'm going to go with the Cartier Calibre. I just, you know, I really do. I get giddy when I see this watch. It's got a beautiful profile that fits on top of anybody, even with the 41 millimeter size. If you have a smaller wrist, I think this still hugs it really, really nicely instead of like pinching it. Yeah. You know, it's going to sit right on top. It's got a beautiful profile. It's super, super readable. You know, you get your Cartier Roman numeral markers. It's just everything. Oh, and
yeah, that bezel is pretty smooth.
And I love the smoothness of the bezel. So like everything about this is just so real. It's just so unbelievably neat to me. And again, it's a statement watch too. You know, it says I got class, but I also like it to work and function really, really well. And so that'd be my pick.
Okay.
All right. Well, you know, we're about done here, but remember, put down Penny in the comments because we want to get Penny out here, and we got to find a way to convince her, and you're going to have to help us. If you guys have any interesting topics that you want to talk about, you know, this is a brand new series, and we're still kind of trying to figure out what we're doing with it. It's evolving every day, and that's going to take a lot of help from you guys. So please give us some suggestions. What do you guys want to hear about? If you got some scenarios that you want to talk about, we're willing to try that out, and we'll even give you credit for it whenever we do the video. So
come check us out on SwissWatchExpo.com or give us a call about any of these pieces.
Yeah.